dispersed across the country. And the question is, which of the children becomes burdened with the responsibilities of taking care of an older parent?
Okay, let's talk about maybe one parent left widowed or a widow, or do they say they need care and somebody moves in with them? What sort of arrangement should be set up?
Well, there are a number of different possibilities. One of them is that the child moves in with the parent. Another one is that some of the kids have their own families in a larger home, and they renovate their home or add an addition.
Little mother-daughter kind of thing?
Sure, and they have the parent move in with them. As long as the home care setting is the appropriate setting, one of those two arrangements are very workable, and the parent does not have to go into a more institutional setting like an adult home.
But you're saying there should be a contract at this point.
Yeah, there really ought to be. I think that most people just figure, look, it's my parent,
right.
I'm going to take care of them, and I'm happy to do it, whatever the sacrifices are, and they don't formalize the arrangement, but there are some pitfalls if you don't do that.
Yeah, one of them is money, because it's really, you want to, well, tell me about qualifying for help from the government.
Well, if, the plan is to start out at home, and eventually the parent may need to go into a nursing home. Most people are willing to pay their fair share of a nursing home cost, but the cost being $10,000 a month on average, it is a very debilitating cost, and one that most people cannot afford to bear for a very long period of time. So by not formalizing the arrangement in the caregiver contract, you're leaving the parent's assets totally exposed to be spent down and completely eliminated without being able to leave a legacy for the next generation. Whereas if you formalize the arrangement by compensating the caregiver over time through this formalized arrangement, you are at the same time providing for that formalized arrangement, but you're also diminishing the parent's assets so that when it comes time to apply for Medicaid, which is a means-based program, the assets are no longer there.
Right, so you can qualify if in fact you've been paying your children to take care of you. Now, someone might say, oh yeah, but I don't want to pay the government for that money.
Well, you can't have everything.
Right.
And if you do one of these formal arrangements, you are advised, and it is the law, that if you're going to have an employee-employer relationship, that taxes do have to be taken out.
But this can be also very important when it comes time and the parent, say, goes into the nursing home or even passes away. You have a house here that needs to be divided up between 3 different siblings, and one sibling's really been taking care of the person.
One of the other critical issues that formalizing the arrangement allows a parent to address is family discord. The potential for family discord is very great where you have one of 3 or 4 children taking care of mom or dad, and then when the parent goes into a nursing home and eventually dies, there may be some built-up resentment that that child gave up, and it's a real big sacrifice to take care of another person, that they gave up 5, 7 years of their life, and they're not in any way compensated for it, and then the house gets split up in 3 or 4 different ways equally, and there really wasn't any special recognition for the sacrifices that this child made.
We had an incident here, more than an incident, a tragedy. Someone was taking care of an elder aunt. The aunt may have had him in the will and then suddenly changed her mind at the last point, and he was sort of left with nothing. May have pushed him over the edge. There was some violence. So this would solve that kind of thing.
Well, anytime you have a formal arrangement, it holds people accountable, because things are in writing and they know what their rights and obligations are under the written contract. And it's not just left to, informal arrangements where things are verbally stated and not able to be proved.
Right. Howard Krooks, thanks very much for being with us, elder care attorney, elder care law attorney. We're talking about other things coming up, but first we want to check in with Dave and the weather.